Blackstone Audio presents Second Lives, A Journey Through Virtual Worlds by Tim Guest. 1. Exodus, Leaving the Real World Behind. In August 2004, Derek Letelier, then a 19-year-old student teacher from Chicago, entered a competition on some land near his home to see who could stack objects the highest. Derek's entry was a skyscraper 40 stories tall, built entirely out of wooden blocks, a triumph of effort and will over gravity and friction. He didn't win the competition, but the land was empty, and so Letelier began to come back every few days to see what else he could stack. At the end of each day, he knocked the towers down. His experiments became a kind of regular neighborhood sideshow. Each week, a handful of locals would gather to watch his towers fall. Derek worked out how to stand on the towers as they came crashing down and surf the tumbling blocks to the ground. Then a friend, James Miller, mentioned that the tower reminded him of the World Trade Center. Another friend who came along that same week had lost a relative in the real 9/11 attacks. He mentioned he would like to see what it was like to be inside the towers as they collapsed. So, at his friend's request, Derek built a second tower next to the first. The two men, along with a handful of others, climbed inside. Derek's intention hadn't originally been to recreate the World Trade Towers. A lot of what looked like symbols from 9/11 mostly were due to practical reasons, Letelier told me. The shape of the buildings, the size, and the placement of people inside them. I asked Derek if he had been wary of any controversy the collapse might cause. "A little bit, especially when we put that second tower up," he said. "At that point I got a little disturbed about what we were doing, how eerie it looked. Before that, it's only an experiment. At that point, it became something more." Derek had also developed a tradition. As he knocked over his towers, he shouted a single word. The day he and his friend sat next to each other inside the tower, he shouted it aloud. "Die." And the two towers fell again. And as a result, the world ended, or at least part of it. The two buildings, which had taken Derek just 5 minutes to build, were among the largest constructions that area of the world had ever seen. And when they fell, as if in a rising pall of smoke, the world went black. Literally, because all of this was nearly but not quite happening. Derek was in his apartment in Chicago, others were in their offices in San Francisco, and all across the United States. Derek's recreation of the World Trade Center attacks took place in the Olive District of a virtual world.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?